Hey guys, welcome to Video Game Corner. It's me, Jason, and I'm still easing back into the channel, so I figured I'd do just a pickups video. I don't really like doing pickups videos often because it always feels to me like like it's the video you do when you run out of stuff. But I guess that's what I'm saying right now. I have stuff I'm working on, but it's not ready. I have to do a bunch of gameplay footage for some videos I'm working on, so it's going to take some time. So I figured I'd just go ahead and do a... sorry, I'm having a... I take this medication called Brilinta for my heart, and it makes me have trouble breathing sometimes. So if I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because I have to kind of stop and catch my breath every once in a while because of this medication. It's a goofy medication, so there we go. Anyway, so I've kind of just, I just wanted to give you guys something, just talk to you guys, because I enjoy doing the channel. But, anywho, let me go ahead and show you what I got. And this is just the physical copy stuff I got. I have a whole bunch of stuff I bought, digitally, and I'll kind of try to remember what I bought, and I'll tell you. But, let's go ahead and go through the, physical stuff. I was at GameStop the other day putting some money down on my Dark Souls 3 special edition that I'm buying, and they had Enslaved Odyssey to the West for a couple bucks. And I've heard it's a good game, and I wanted to give it a try, and I figured for $2.69 I can't go wrong. I'm going back as far as September on the stuff I've bought because, you know, that's like, I mean, I've got a lot of cool stuff since then. Let's see, I got, as you guys know, I bought Mad Max, because I did some videos about me getting my car stuck. As far as Mad Max, I'd say it's one of the best games I've played on the PS4 so far. It's not the best, but it's one of the best. I mean, the game's just really good. It's got kind of post-apocalyptic Batman feel, like the combat's a lot like Batman, but it's really fun. I love upgrading characters. It's something I've always enjoyed. But in this, you upgrade your car too, which is really cool because you can customize it and do all these cool things with it. And it's a lot of fun for me. I enjoy it. So yeah, the other game I got around the same time was Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I haven't finished it. I did finish Mad Max, but I haven't finished Fallout 4 because I kind of got burned out on playing it. It's the stuff you do to build your base. It is a lot of work. It's like a constant building and doing stuff with it. Some people just build it up and they're done, but I'm like constantly doing stuff with it. And then they have all these other bases they want you to build. And I got into the habit of trying to build up other bases, and then you're constantly looking for materials and resources, and it's like, after a while. But I think I'm just going to go back, when I go back to play, I'm just going to finish out all the quests and just kind of leave the base building alone, because it gets a little repetitive. Even though it is fun to be creative with it, it has that Minecraft feel without, you know, the kind of customization you can do in Minecraft, and of course it looks more detailed. I don't know, some of those buildings, they give you these you know, sections to put in, and nothing ever fits on the base you have. It's either too short, hangs over. It's kind of funny when you think about it, but you know, maybe that was intentional to make it more of you know, post-apocalyptic type thing. The one thing I can't stand though is that every place you go to, and even in your own base, nobody has a broom. So you can't sweep up rubble that's sitting there. Stuff that a normal person would just say, oh, I gotta sweep this up, and they won't let you do it. So one thing you can't do is sweep up your area. And if you're gonna be in this nice place, you're gonna be building this thing, you would think people would pick up all the crap off the floor, but they can't. It's not possible. So, it's like, what are you gonna do, right? So another game I got was I got Dragon Age Inquisition. I haven't played it yet. It's I've got so much I'm behind on. I'm trying to truck through it. But Dark Souls 3 coming out in April, yeah, I probably won't make it by then, but I'm working on it. But it's, I hear it's great. I haven't played it yet. I got Witcher 3. I've been playing it the last few days. I've put about 2.5 days into it. I like it. I feel like I like the quest and I like everything about the game. The only thing I don't like is when you're running around, you move a little too fast. So like when you're trying to just run up to a point, you end up running right past it, and you gotta turn around. That's the only thing I don't like. Everything's just a little too sped up. It needs to slow down just a little tiny bit, I think. But, you know, maybe people get used to it. I haven't been able to get used to it yet. I got Dragon Quest Heroes. I love Dragon Quest. I haven't played them all, but I'm working on it. It's going to take some time. I've played the first 2 games on the Super Nintendo on a reproduction cart. And I also played a little bit of, I played a bunch of 3, haven't finished it. It's one of those, like, I have that problem with the Final Fantasy series, too. And then I played a bunch of 9, a bunch of 8, haven't played 7, haven't played, I played a few minutes of 5, and I played a little bit of 6 on the DS. I have a lot to catch up on with the Dragon Quest series. Dragon Quest Heroes is pretty fun. It's like a Dynasty Warriors, Drakengard type thing where you're fighting a bunch of enemies, and it's not, there's not a lot of thinking involved. There's not a lot of puzzles or any. I don't remember any puzzles yet. I haven't played too much of it. It's just one of those fun, just hack and slash games where you don't want to do too much with it. But it's still a fun game. I still like it. Game I just got last weekend is I finally got Metal Gear 5: The Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain, and I know I made a video about not supporting Konami, but I finally bought it. I waited. I didn't want to give them their money. I got it for a lot less than regular price. I started thinking about the whole thing about supporting the company. I don't know if I'm supporting the company or not, because I know I didn't buy it directly from the company, but the thing is that, the people that worked on it, I remember seeing a comment about somebody saying that in that video I made, and it kind of got me thinking. It's like, yeah, supporting the people that made it is important too, because it's not their fault their company's a bunch of douchebags. But if they stay in the company, then it starts, then you have to start asking the question, why are you staying working for somebody that does this? But there are a lot of circumstances, you can't afford to, you got a family, they have to come first, so you take a lot of crap, that kind of stuff. But anyway, on to the game. I'm really liking it. I like the characters so far. It is a little repetitive. The one thing I've always loved about Metal Gear Solid games is you're playing through a story. And I love playing through a story. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, you're not playing so much through a story in the same way. You are, but you're doing a lot of busy work. And the problem with a lot of these open world games nowadays, they put so much busy work in there, and a lot of it feels pointless. Like, for example, in Metal Gear Solid 5, you're like going to extract a prisoner in the same town over and over again, in like the same set of few different towns in Afghanistan, and you're just going in there and you already know the layout of the land because you've been there so much on different missions. You extract someone and you put them on with the hot air balloon thing, and they go out, then you escape, get on the helicopter, do it a different town. This time you're getting a highly trained soldier. Same crap constantly. It just constantly is the same stuff on these side missions. And I don't know where we got to a point. I know Assassin's Creed was partly to blame. Assassin's Creed 1 didn't do it, but 2 started all that. And I'm sure there's other games, that did it too. And even in the, I'm trying to think of the PS2. I can't remember if the PS2 did any of that. Some of the games, I don't know, or maybe the Xbox, the original Xbox. in the GameCube. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and do some more. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I know that they did have certain games that had a little bit of busy work, but I like it when side missions, because we've always talked about like the fetch quest in RPGs, like in one that Reckoning. I can't remember the rest of the name off the top of my head. It was that one RPG for the PS3 and 360, and they had a lot of everything. They had like over 200 missions or something like that, around 200 missions or quests, and a lot of them, most of them were fetch quests. Just go get this, bring it back, and then maybe something would happen. Maybe they just say thank you and give you money. The whole idea of a fetch quest is fine, but it's the easiest one to do. Go get me this, bring it back. And then you fight some enemies along the way, you have a little fun, whatever. But it seems like Metal Gear Solid 5 is, you're going and it's kind of like you're just doing fetch quests in the side quests. You're going and you're just collecting somebody. You're fetching a human and bringing it back to base, and it's like, okay. And then you pick up resources along the way to build up your base, which is kind of cool. One thing I don't like about that base, it's like there's really no point to go there very often. There's really not much there at Mother Base. It's there. You can't go inside any of the buildings except a couple. And I don't know. And you can't like talk to anybody. They just salute you and say, "Good to see you, boss." And then it says morality is raised just because you walk by them or something. I don't know. I don't see the point in it. I go back just to take a shower and refresh my character, and that's it. And it just seems like, I don't know. It's the only thing I don't understand why they put that in the game. And I get the whole trying to give people more for their money, but giving us a bunch of side quests that are just the same thing over and over again. It gets repetitive and it gets stale. And then on the story quests, because you've played so much of the side quests, then the story quests, you do a lot of the same thing you're doing the side quests, but then at the end or in the middle or somewhere in there, you get a little bit of story thrown in, which is great. And oh, excuse me. So I don't know. I like the older Metal Gear Solid formula better, where you just play through a story. And I think the side quests should have been like meaningful side quests as opposed to a lot of just busy work. Because I've played like all the Assassin's Creed main games. I haven't played all the little side games, but I've played all the main ones. I played all three of the number 2s. I don't know why they just didn't call it 3, 4, 5 and all that. I don't know. Because it's like Assassin's Creed 3 is actually Assassin's Creed 5. And it's like, but, whatever. But all the games, the side stuff, a lot of the side stuff, you're just collecting stuff. And it's like, if you're a completionist, like I'm a semi-completionist, I love to complete as much as I can, but I get to the point where I just can't take it anymore and I just give up. But I'm just sitting there for hours and days sometimes. When I was playing Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed, it's one of the best Assassin's Creeds, and it was the most like unknown one. And it was I think the best one is probably a tie between Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 4, and then Assassin's Creed Rogue comes in second to those two. And Assassin's Creed Rogue is such a good game, and people don't even realize it because not many people played it. And it's way better than Unity, which came out the same day, but one was on the PS3, one was on the PS4. I don't like this new formula Assassin's Creed. I think Unity was better than Syndicate, but Syndicate had a lot more newer, innovational type stuff. But Syndicate got so repetitive and boring that at the end I was just glad to be done. And I had planned in the beginning to get like the Jack the Ripper DLC. And now that it's all out, I don't even care. I don't even care about ever playing that game again. It was just too much. But I would play Unity again. I liked Unity. But there's a lot of stuff I didn't like about Unity. I didn't like the locked chest system. It just goes back for it's just pointless. But I still think Rogue and 4 and Rogue and Brotherhood are the best game. I think the older Assassin's Creed are better. I don't think 1's all that great, but 1 was okay. 1, the mechanics were slow, like the climbing and stuff. But, whatever. But yeah, I think Metal Gear Solid should have stuck with more, you can do more, you can do an open world, but I think they just should have kept with the original formula a little bit more than what they went to. And I don't know if it was pressure, I don't know what it is, but it's good they tried something, but it's probably going to be the last Metal Gear Solid game, as far as we know, so what are you going to do? So, another game I got was, I got Final Fantasy X 10-2 for the PS4. Now, I had started playing Final Fantasy X on my PS2, and I really enjoyed the game, and then I ended up hearing about the remakes, the remasters they were doing for PS3, and then I didn't buy on the PS3, and then I heard, it was going to be a PS4, so I waited, and I finally was able to get it over Christmas time. I got that one for Christmas, and with my wife and I, we just decided to do some, we each had Christmas money, we got what we wanted after, we got the kids stuff. And that was one of my games I bought, and I went ahead and played it through, and then I tried playing 10-2, and I really love 10. I think it's such a good game. I got all the celestial weapons. I powered up 5 out of the 7 of them. 2 of them I just didn't want to. I could not do Wakka's because that Blitzball, I hate Blitzball. I've won like 2 games. I don't know. I've watched videos on it, supposable, tutorials, and they don't explain anything. They're just like, do this and do that, and then I go do it and I lose. They're like, do the jet shot. I do the jet shot and they catch it every time, except maybe once. It's awful. It's like I can't win. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I cannot find a video to really explain it. And, and I got on YouTube and I looked up online and I can't find anything. So I'm sick of Blitzball. I tried playing I played like 12 games and I won like 1 or 2. And I've only won like two games total. And I just was so pissed and so sick of that game. And you got to do that to power up Wakka's ball, his weapon, his celestial weapon. And you know what? I was like, don't need it. I wanted to power up all 7. And then the other one was Titus's. I didn't want to sit there and race the Chocobos, because you have to race to where you get a 0 against the Chocobo trainer in the Calm Lands. I didn't want to do all that, because I don't like racing Chocobos. Is not fun to me. I mean, it's okay on like the track that you go on in the temple. That's kind of fun. But I didn't want to sit there and race with birds flying at you and catching the balloons, and it was just like, no thank you. I don't want to do all that. So, but I got all the others. I sat there and I dodged the lightning. That took me like 6 tries, I think. I did it it was one of those things where it was like late at night and I was so tired, and I got up to like 172, and then the lightning hit me. And I was like, argh. And then the next morning, I was like, watch, I'm going to do it on my first try. And then I did it, and I went up to 300 just to see if I got anything extra for going up to 300. I just kept going, and I could have probably gone, a lot further. I stopped at 300. And I was thinking, don't do that when you're tired. But but I didn't mind doing that, and that was one of the harder ones. And then some of them are easy. But yeah, getting all celestial weapons is fun. And then I was able to, I beat the final boss on my first try. It's a fun game, and it's fun to build your characters up, because you can also do builds. If you look at it, you can build like Kimahri. I like to build as a magic character because he's not real great as a melee character in the beginning. It takes him a while to power up, but when you build him up as a magic character with melee as a mixed character, he does pretty well. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game, and I haven't done. I'm on another playthrough with it, and I want to go and do all the dark aeons and all the really like all the special optional bosses that are ridiculously hard to destroy, and I want to do all those now that I've beat the game, because the game you can do a lot, and it's funny because the game I got after that, I decided I wanted to get the game after, which is Final Fantasy XII for the PS2. And it's so weird playing a remastered game that's so clear and crisp, and then going back to the PS2, which has a blur to it, and which you get used to it. And everybody, and I was talking to my friend about Final Fantasy XII, and he says, "Yeah, a lot of people hate the combat." He says, "I didn't mind it, but I a lot of people don't like it, and it's got a lot of qualities from like Star Wars, which is fine. It's not exactly like it." I got up to the final boss, and I haven't fought the final boss yet, but I really got into the combat. I didn't mind that you just had to program all your characters, and then they just auto-attack. And I didn't mind so much, and then if you have to keep on it and make sure the stuff you didn't program in, you've got to put in manually as you play. Some of the hunts were kind of a pain in the ass. Like there's this giant white chocobo up in the mountains. I forget his name. It's like the Joker or something like that is his name, or something like that. And he like disappears and he reappears, but then right when you get him down to almost 0 health, he becomes invincible, and then that's when he starts dropping these rocks on your head and kills you. So you have to sit there and do some sort of magic, but I didn't have a good magic system yet at the time. But what I did is I started using Drain, and I started draining him. And then when he was able to take hits again, I started, killing him. And I finally beat him. It took a lot of tries and a lot of leveling. The leveling in that game is ridiculous. It takes so much work to level up. And I got up to level, I think, 57 or something like that. 55, I think, is where I'm at. I can't remember. I know it's in the 50s somewhere. I got all my characters leveled up, but it is so ridiculous. And the only weapons worth using are the axes. They're the ones that are most powerful from what I've found. And I know there's special weapons and stuff. I don't understand. I don't really know how to get it. I know there's supposedly if you get, I guess from what I understand is if you get, you collect items from drops from enemies or steal from enemies. You can put them together, and when you go to a vendor, you sell those items all together, and then if it's the right combination of items, they'll sell you the special weapon, which is kind of weird. But whatever. If that's how they do it, that's how they do it. But that's the thing. I don't even know how to get anything. I got to look it up online, and I'm like, why don't they have something in the game? Then I don't even remember them explaining it. And if they did, I missed something. And I know it has to do with the bazaar stuff they sell. And maybe there's a part in there and I just missed it. But I liked the game a lot. I really did like the combat. It takes some getting used to. There's this one boss that's one of the dragon bosses. You have to. He'll only show up when it's looks like it's gonna rain in the area, and I've gone back and forth like 100 times. It feels like probably more like 20, and it's never different. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I went on videos. Of course, I go on videos, and it's always some asshole. And you know what, one thing I can't stand when you look up a tutorial video and it's some asshole playing music instead of explaining shit, calling it a tutorial. Tutorial, you need to actually talk and explain things. You don't play music and show how you did it, and then everyone's watching, they're like, I don't get it. Well, how did you get there? I saw you do it, but you didn't explain anything, and they're playing some shitty fucking music. I hate that with a passion. And then you look at their like-dislike ratio, and they have like a bazillion dislikes, because people don't like that shit. And then when you get somebody who actually explains it, you understand it, and it makes sense. But I can't stand when people do that. And then they'll sit there and type it all in. Like, and it's like, I don't want to read. Just get a fucking $3 mic, okay? They have them on eBay. I used to use a $3 mic years ago. It's not a big deal. Just buy something to talk to us. But people suck. Except you guys. You guys are cool. But anyway, so yeah, everything's good with me. I went and saw The Witch last night with my wife. We walked over to the movie theater. It's about a mile and a half away. Then went over to the grocery store and had to cross the street and had to carry all these groceries home. And my hands were so sore by the time we got back because. And then I was holding our soda from the movie and it was leaking. Every time it would slosh, it would leak out. The lid wasn't very tight. And my hand was free. It was so cold here last night. It wasn't like, northern, planet cold, but it was cold enough. It was uncomfortable. And I was just covered in sweat when we got home. I had to get cleaned up, take a shower, and then I was able to relax, eat dinner and stuff. But, yeah, it was, The Witch, it was they said at the end, after the movie was over, that it was actually, based on these journals that they had from the time period, because the people speak in Old English in it, which was really interesting because they're Puritans, and it was really interesting stuff. And it had the two main characters, the mother and father, were Game of Thrones actors, which was really interesting. One of them was Catelyn's sister, Catelyn Stark, her sister, that was breastfeeding her 13-year-old son, Robin, freaky little kid. And then the other guy was, the father was played by, if you remember Theon Greyjoy, when he goes back to the Ironborn Island, and his father's like, I want you to go and take a ship, the Sea Bitch, as they call it. And he had his crew, and they didn't respect him. And then he had his first mate, the guy that played his first mate, who was, kind of giving him advice and helping him out. That's the guy who played the father in this. So it's really weird seeing, two Game of Thrones actors. I just saw it recently in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. The guy who played Tywin Lannister, Charles Dance, and then the woman who played Cersei Lannister, they were both in that. It was real weird. And I can't remember Cersei's real name. Lena Headey, that was her name. Lena Headey or Lena Headey. I think it's Headey. Anyway, Cersei was in it, and they're two different characters. They're not related, but I just thought it was interesting that the two of them were in this movie. It's neat when you see, because they're both from Game of Thrones. And it's funny because in The Witch, the mother and father played Game of Thrones actors that are dead in the show. So, sorry if I spoiled anything. You should have watched it by now. Because they both died seasons ago, at least the one guy died in season 2, and then she died, I think, last season 5 or season 4, she died. So yeah, it's 2 years ago, so if you haven't watched it, I don't know. You just got spoiled. I guess you can come beat me up if you want to. So, I live in Porterville. Just send me a message when you get here, and I'll meet up with you, and you can beat me up. So, no problem. I'll even let you do it, because I'm a big sissy. Can you tell? Look, I'm Jeb Bush. Yeah, I've been getting into politics lately, so it's I'm a big Bernie Sanders guy. I know some of you non-Bernie people are gonna think I'm crazy. It's okay. He's the only one that's positive and moving ahead while everybody's going stale or going negative. So that's says a lot about what the people want. Anywho, don't want to get political. Feel the burn. Anyway, I guess that's it. So I got a bunch of I was going to tell you my digital games. I ended up, I got the Tomb Raider remake. I got Minecraft story mode. I ended up, I got, because I already had Minecraft for the PS4, but I got the story mode, which I really liked. I ended up having the Game of Thrones Telltale game, which I love. I also bought I pick up stuff all the time, and I'm trying to remember. I got the Chronicles of Symphonia, where it's Chronicles Tales of Symphonia 1 and Tales of Symphonia 2, and I got Tales of Exilia. Everything was on sale really cheap. I got Suikoden 1, 2, and 3. I got Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which I played a little bit of that. That game's interesting. I haven't been able to really get into it yet. Maybe I'll play that today or something. I don't know. I love RPGs, so. I also hooked up on my gaming PC. On my gaming PC, I got Valkyrie Chronicles. I think that's what it's called. It's that one where it's like a World War II, but in an alternate planet, universe, and all that. I ended up getting Fallout New Vegas for the PC. I got Skyrim for the PC, even though I've platinumed it on PSN, on the PS3. But I got the PC version. I ended up getting Dark Souls on the PC a while back. And I also bought Banner Saga. I got Darkest Dungeon. I bought The Long Dark, which I'm enjoying that. It's not even finished yet. I'm waiting for the Final Fantasy IX remaster for the PC because I want to play that really bad. And I'm also waiting for a game called EITR, E-I-T-R. It's like a Dark Souls style 3/4 view, game. But it's like in like a 16-bit, type style. But yeah, there's other stuff. I mean, maybe I should just make a video and write them all down and then talk about those. I think that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out. I will talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.